Like, what goes through your mind at times like this? Do you think of back home, or what do you think of?
Yeah, actually, it's not a question of only me or him or any one soldier. It's a question of all of us who are deployed all here. Of course, as a human being nature, he has to think about his house. I think you were saying the same thing, inform my house first, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So I think it gives the answer.
As you said about fear, fear is something that is natural because we are all humans. But then after some time when we sit and realize the very basic nature, first reason why we are here is to overcome that. And it's for the, what I say is, it's call of the duty, the time.
But your friends, your colleagues, men on the top.
Yeah, actually before, when you go and face them, it's like kind of short movie, which runs into your mind, and you see your childhood, your adulthood, and you remember your parents, all your loves and your fears, and then for a fraction of a second you say, no, I've got to overcome it, and then that's the thing that pushes you into the.
It's like your life passes you by in a flash.
Yeah, it's like that.
Those words stuck with me. Every time I thought of the war, I remembered the understated eloquence of that young man. 10 years later, I meet him again, Vishal Thapa. He and I look together for that bunker that marked that memorable night. We find it. The exact spot, in fact, where it once stood, at the old brigade headquarters, amid broken down hutments and walls that still bear the signs of war. This is our bunker.
This was the bunker. Here was the bunker.
That night in the bunker, Vishal was all of 24. I was 26. We talk about how a decade has changed his understanding of what war really means.
Do you think people forget how ugly war can be, how cruel it can be? Do you think civilians don't understand that?
I won't really put it that way, but it's just that time along with itself puts many blankets on the memories, and life has to go on. So a person who's not into army has to go about doing he's worried about his, let's start with all the sections of the society, rickshaw wale se lekar, you have other officers,
No, but people talk about war so loosely, people talk about war so easily, and people will say, oh, why don't we do this, why don't we go to war, why don't we do this? And I just feel that, I think soldiers who've experienced war probably understand what the cost of war is.
Okay, it would be politically incorrect, but I will say just this much that I don't think any soldier of any country would want a war by himself. It is the developments, the situations, economic or political or whatever. So basically, everybody is just following orders. You understand that?
So basically, no soldier, according to you, would want a war?
No.
What's your most vivid memory from that time? What's that one memory that you carry? You know that image, like you talk about the still photographs. What's that one photograph that never goes away?
It's not one single photograph, because after so much passage of time, but it is not one photograph or one event. It is like all clustered, mixed of thoughts. Like the scene that you see right now, this lasts for next 10 years, the unit location. And then the next thought goes on to Tiger Hill, the bombardment by the Bofors onto the Tiger Hill, bang at the top. Then is the MBRL firing on the Tolole. You've seen it yourself.
Yeah, of course, yes.
And then the smell of gunpowder, constant gunpowder, constant shelling, moving.
What about the smell of death?
I don't think, personal view, that death has a smell. It just has an effect. Okay.
So it has to have had some effect on you. Do you feel you're scarred in some ways, emotionally?
Coming from the profession, I would like to say that we kill by profession, not by choice, right? So if we kill someone, someone of us will also die. So it is part of the job, take it or leave it.